students, today we are going to talk about the profit and loss account. Children, if you remember in the last video we had talked about final accounts under which we had talked about the trading account. Now today we would be talking about under the final accounts what is a profit and loss account and what all does it include. So let us learn through this video what is a P&L account. Children, when we talk about a P&L account, it is an account prepared in order to ascertain the net profit and net loss made by a concern during an accounting period. That is, it covers the net profit and net loss which is made by a business during a particular accounting period. So, when we talk about this P&L account, we can also say that it is a financial statement that matches the gross profit and indirect revenue with indirect expenses during an accounting period to show the net profit or net loss earned by a business firm. Children, when we talk about profit and loss account, it is prepared after the trading account has been closed. Kindly note, this P&L account is prepared after the trading account has been closed. Now let us talk more about the P&L account. Now children, when we talk about the P&L account, all the expenses which are under the nominal account, that is expenses, loans, incomes and gain, they are part of the profit and loss account. But out of that, children, direct expenses and revenues, if you remember, we had talked about wages, carriage inward, they are all part of the trading account. P&L account, now what does it contain? It contains all the indirect expenses and indirect revenues of the P&L account, is including all the indirect expenses and indirect incomes and revenues are part of the P&L account. So children, what all expenses are not part of the trading account, which are direct expenses, they go to trading account, kindly note, and all those expenses of the nominal account which are not there in the trading account, which are indirect in nature, they will be part of the P&L account. Now let us see the format for the P&L account. The P&L account, I have mentioned over here the quick format of the P&L account. P&L account for the year ended, say 2017, 31st of March 2017. On the debit side, children, we have all the expenses that are indirect in nature. Kindly note once again, these include all the expenses which are indirect in nature and which are part of the nominal account. And on the credit side, we have all the revenues and incomes which are indirect in nature again and which are part of the nominal account. Now let us see what all does the P&L account include. On the debit side, children, we have the administration and the general expenses. Under this, we have salaries, we have rents, rates, taxes, etc., which are all related to the office. Then we have to postage, printing, stationery. Then we have the telephone charges which are related to the office, to electricity charges. Then we have the selling and distribution charges. This includes, children, carriage outward. Always remember, when it is mentioned carriage outward, that would be part of the P&L account. And when it is mentioned only carriage, we deemed it to be that it is carriage inward. In the end, you will write a short note that carriage has been deemed to be carriage inwards, which is part of the trading account. Then it would not go into the P&L account. Only and only if it is carriage outward mentioned, only in that case you will mention this under the category of sales and distribution charges under the head carriage outward. Then we have the bad debts, that is all those people whom we think they would not be paying off the money back to us. They are part of this. Then it also has the provisions for bad debts. That is, supposingly we assume that in near future these people they are not going to return back my money, but we are not sure about it. That is also considered in the P&L account. Then we have the packing and the delivery charges also included in it. The other head which is included in the P&L account on the expenses side is the maintenance and the financial charges, which include the depreciation. That is, the depreciation on the fixed assets is part of the P&L account. All the repairs of the fixed assets are also part of the P&L account. The bank charges, if there are any bank charges, that would also be part of the P&L account. Then we have the interest on loan, which is also part of the P&L account. We have the traveling expenses, we have the go down rent, any kind of advertisement expenses, all that is part of the P&L account, children. So in nutshell, the P&L account debit side has all the indirect expenses which are indirect in nature, which are not part of the trading account. They become part of the P&L account. Now let us talk about the credit side. What all does the credit side has? The credit side first of all has the any kind of gross profit which had come from the trading account, that will go to the credit side of the P&L account. That is, the gross profit which we have brought down from the trading account would go to the credit side of the P&L account. And children, on the credit side we have the gross profit which we have brought forward from the trading account. Kindly note, on the debit side, if there was any kind of gross loss in the trading account, that will go to the debit side of the P&L account. Now what all other things are included on the credit side, that is the revenue side, which are indirect in nature, all the incomes. This will include the discount received, the commission received, any kind of non-trading incomes, that is interest or dividend or rent received, that all will be included in the P&L account on the credit side because they are indirect revenues. Then children, we balance both the sides. If the balance is coming of the debit side, we write down net profit, and which is transferred to the capital account. If the balance, after balancing both the sides, we have the balance on the credit side, we mention by net loss, which is again transferred to the capital account in the balance sheet. Now let us talk something more about the P&L account. Now children, in actual sense, why do we need to have a P&L account? Kindly note that we need the P&L account for the following reasons. Number one is knowledge of the net profit or net loss. Profit and loss account, children, provides information about the net profit earned or net loss suffered by a business during the given accounting period. So children, the outcome of business operations, and every businessman wants to know as to what he has earned during the whole accounting year. So that is why P&L account is needed. The other thing is that comparison with profit of previous year. Yes children, a P&L account helps the businessman in knowing the comparison between the last year and the previous year for the profit earned or the losses earned. Such a comparison, children, helps in judging whether the efficiency of the business is increasing or it is decreasing. Number 3, why we need a P&L account is that we need it to control our expenses. An analysis, children, of various expenses is done through the P&L account. Thus, children, the P&L account helps us to know what were the expenses in the last year and what all expenses the business has done in the current year, and so it can control the expenses if they are exceeding. Now children, when we talk of the P&L account, the format is in front of each one of you. How do we prepare the P&L account? Kindly note the main items which appear in the P&L account, as we have talked also, are number 1, office and administration expenses. Now these expenses, children, are done by the business on day-to-day basis. These include, what all does it include? It includes office rent, office lighting, office salaries, insurance, postage, telegram, stationery, printing. These all are shown, children, on the debit side of the P&L account. Now what else does the debit side has? The debit side also has the selling and distribution expenses. These expenses, children, are incurred by the business for promoting the sales and on distribution of goods sold. Now what all does it include? It includes, children, advertising, godown rent, storage expenses, carriage outward, salaries of sales staff, commission on sales, brokerage, packaging and delivery charges. Or it also includes, children, bad debts. We just talked about bad debts, provisions for bad debts. All this is part of the selling and distribution expenses, which are all indirect expenses, kindly note, which become the part of the debit side of the P&L account. The third thing it includes is the financial expenses. What are they? They are the expenses which are incurred for obtaining funds to carry out the business, such as discount allowed, interest on loan or debentures, any kind of discounting charges on the bills, bank charges. All this becomes part of the indirect expenses under the head of financial expenses in the P&L account debit side. It also has the abnormal losses. Now what do we mean by abnormal losses? They refer to the losses which do not occur on regular basis in the business, such as, children, stock being destroyed by fire. That does not happen every now and then, but at times it can happen. So it is an indirect expense. Goods lost in transit, lost on the sale of fixed assets. All this is part of the abnormal losses. So children, we have discussed the debit side of the P&L account. All the outstanding expenses, children, are added, and all the expenses which are paid in advance, that is the prepaid expenses, are deducted from the expenses. Kindly note that all the outstanding expenses are added. If it is mentioned outstanding rent, we would add it in rent. But if it is mentioned prepaid rent, then we would deduct it from that particular expense. So now let us talk about the credit side of the P&L account. First thing which it has is the gross profit, that is transferred from the trading account, which is being brought down from the trading account. Then it includes all kinds of revenue incomes. These incomes are the ones which arise out of the ordinary course of business, which are related to the current year only, such as discount received, commission received, etc. Now it also has the non-trading incomes, which are the ones such as interest on investment, dividend received, rent income from any kind of property. It also has, children, just like on the debit side we have abnormal losses, on the credit side we have abnormal gains. Which are the gains which are not regular for a business? Such as profit on sale of investments, profit on sale of any kind of fixed assets, because we are not selling every now and then the fixed assets. So they are part of the abnormal gains. So children, all the incomes accrued but not received, kindly note, all the incomes which have accrued but they are not received are added to, and all the incomes received in advance are deducted from the income. Say we have received commission in advance, so we would deduct it from that income. But if there was an accrued interest, we have not received it, we would add it into the interest. So children, today we have talked at length about the P&L account. We have also discussed the format of P&L account, the different items which are covered in the P&L account. Kindly go through the video and clear your doubts over the Microsoft Teams. Kindly note that the P&L account and the trading account are followed by the balance sheet, which we would be discussing in the next video. Take care. Thank you. Have a good day.